Hi, welcome to another bonus episode of Foster Career Experience. Today, we're featuring an organization that supports former foster youth and sharing ideas for how you and your organization can get involved. LifeWorks is an Austin based organization that serves Central Texas by providing services related to housing, counseling, education, and workforce programs for young adults who are pursuing a stable future for themselves and their families. I got a chance to speak with a LifeWorks case manager who works directly with former foster youth, a workforce program manager, and other leaders within the organization.
Hi, I'm Alexis. I'm a case manager at LifeWorks for the Aftercare Services Program, and I serve youth that have aged out of foster care, ages 18 to 21.
Alexis typically manages a caseload of 18 to 20 clients. These clients may have found and contacted LifeWorks on their own, or discovered LifeWorks after dropping by the Youth Resource Center, or even been referred by the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services after aging out of foster care. It's also commonly known as DFPS.
The day-to-day can definitely vary, and how you think your schedule is going to go at the beginning of the day is sometimes totally different than how it ends up.
Yeah.
But things that we typically work on in case management are all the things that a young adult might start doing as they're 18, working on, securing employment, getting their first apartment, um, making their doctor's appointments on their own, getting their driver's license. So things that they are starting to do as they're getting older, but need some extra support with.
I asked Alexis what she wishes people knew about life after foster care.
I would say probably how the realities of life after foster care can be extremely difficult. Most young adults have a lot of family support, have, resources and maybe a community or a church or, a college that they go to.
Mhm.
But a lot of the young adults that we serve have very limited family support or no support at all. So they're going through all of those things that maybe a 19-year-old goes through that has a lot of support, but without all of that.
Yeah.
So they're experiencing things like trying to get a driver's license, but they don't have a car to practice with, or they're having their first child, but they don't have anyone to come to the hospital with them. So these things that a lot of teenagers get a ton of support with, our young adults really have to do on their own, outside of the case management services that we provide and services that DFPS or PAL provides.
One of the greatest challenges her clients face is the lack of affordable housing.
I think the one that comes up most often is probably not a surprise, but the lack of affordable housing is huge. It can be incredibly discouraging, the cost and the income needed to qualify for an apartment in this area versus the income that clients actually can make with a high school diploma, working in fast food, working in retail. Is just the disparity is huge. And so I think sometimes for youth, it can seem impossible that they would ever make enough money to qualify for an apartment in this area. There are, a ton of different resources and different kinds of affordable housing in Austin. We have housing vouchers, we have affordable housing complexes, we have our rapid rehousing program at LifeWorks. Unfortunately, there just isn't enough of that to go around for the huge number of youth that we see that are experiencing housing instability.
Mhm.
Um, but in terms of applying for an apartment, even if a client is working and they can probably afford $800 a month, if they're able to really budget it, work really hard, to make sure that that gets paid, they still, for a lot of apartments, need to show income of $2,400 a month, three times the rent or 2.5 times the rent, which can just seem very, very difficult, depending on a client's income. Yeah, I think, sometimes the standards that the young adults that we work with are being held to, just seem, you know, way out of proportion or unfair of what we're expecting out of 18, 19-year-olds. I think about this all the time. Most 18 and 19-year-olds, again, have so much family support. If they mess up on something, they have family that they can fall back on. They might have a co-signer. They might have someone that can help them pay a security deposit. And while LifeWorks does our best to fill in a lot of those gaps, um, there's still very real barriers that clients are facing just trying to have a roof over their head, have some food to eat and maybe some money left over for childcare, anything else that they might need.
Let's hear from LifeWorks Director of Emergency and Transitional Housing, Andrew Fike.
My name is Andrew Fike. I've been at LifeWorks 6.5 years, and I'm Division Director of Emergency and Transitional Housing. It's a new role that we created about a year ago. As our housing division has grown and expanded, we have split it up into two different sections. So, emergency transitional housing on one side and permanent housing on the other.
Andrew explained how LifeWorks uses different interventions for its clients based on their needs, similar to how a hospital uses different interventions for patients.
So, I think when we're talking about housing services, I think we want to create an array and a spectrum of interventions because there's a diversity of need and there's a diversity of interventions. And so we want to find the appropriate intervention for who we're serving. I think of an analogy of like a hospital system. If you need care medically, there is a spectrum of services that you can go pursue. You may need physical therapy, you may need surgery, you may need a trauma center. And so with housing, I think it's similar that we have sort of A to Z listed out. And so I think of the foundation as like street outreach. So we have people that literally go out into the city, out into the community, into encampments, into hotspots that young people hang out, to provide outreach and enroll and provide basic needs. That's on one end. On the other end, we have permanent supportive housing, which is a lifetime of supportive services and wraparound care in housing that we can provide people. In between these things, we have early intervention, preventative work. We have transitional living programs that are 18 months, suited to help somebody to live rent-free, but to equip them when they exit to graduate into being able to afford their own housing. We have emergency shelter services. We have rapid rehousing, which is like a intermediary rental support for a year and a half while you get on your feet with wraparound case management. So there's a lot of things in between that we kind of try and fit people to figure out what is the best intervention that you need that will serve you.
To offer its services, LifeWorks operates on a prioritization model. That means that before a client is referred to LifeWorks, the organization does a coordinated entry. They collaborate with city partners and members of the community to identify who needs LifeWorks services the most, or who is most vulnerable. Then they work on a client assessment together that helps LifeWorks determine what intervention someone may need the most at that time.
I think anytime I hear that somebody has the answer to ending homelessness or that it's a this one intervention, to me, I'm always resonating when there's like a multifaceted approach. To me, and even like within LifeWorks, right? Like we have a way of doing things, but there are other operations in this city that are well known that are doing things, and we need everybody contributing towards that.
Yeah.
We need the small organization that has 4 employees that are providing this kind of resource. And we need Community First Village to be doing what they're doing. And we need LifeWorks to be doing, it's like, and we need affordable housing units to continue being developed. There's not like one way, in my opinion.
Another way that LifeWorks supports youth who are working toward a stable future is through its workforce programs. Next, I spoke with members of LifeWorks' workforce team.
My name is Marie Gabriel-Georgis, and I am a Program Services Coordinator at LifeWorks. The best part about this job is seeing clients getting jobs and being able to afford things that we all enjoy. That's the highlight of my day. Every time now that I'm supervising staff, telling me, so got a job, guess how much they're getting paid. Now they can afford this and this and this, and they can change this and this and this. You know what they're planning? They're planning to get a car. They're planning to purchase, I don't know, whatever they're planning to, and that just makes my day. That's the best part. In the meantime, the working through the process of getting a job is also similarly joyful. But at the end, seeing like the light at the end of the tunnel for all this hard work is what I think, live for and stayed so long in LifeWorks and in the industry in general.
Mary shared a recent success story with me.
And to tell you a fun story, I went to develop a job at the Springdale store, plaza. It's a plaza. And this is Dollar Tree. So I said, okay, let's go and do just because anybody can get. And as 16-year-old, I can connect with this store and then, connect with them. And then if I have 16-year-old, 17-year-old, I can place them here. They live around here. So we do that kind of stuff. And then I went and I said, I'm from LifeWorks. And I had a couple of staff that they were shadowing me how to do employer contact. And she just went on and said, she's a hiring manager now. I used to be a client of LifeWorks. She just went on and on. I didn't do anything. She did the job for me. She says, yes, bring them in. I will do the job of having to hire them, to train them, to work with them. I know how hard it is when you first get in a job to actually be on time. I'll help them with that. Yeah. So you have moments like this where employers are really supporting you, know the challenges of this client, know the challenges of, being in a job and fully on supporting your goal, your clients, and supporting the community in general.
For her clients, and I would argue for all of us, getting a job can mean so much more than having a source of income.
Not only that, it's also about how you feel about yourself. Now you feel like now you're an adult. Now you are, to some people, it's like, now I'm a human being because I can do this. It's a huge self-esteem builder, and many think that words cannot say comes as a result of having a job.
Yeah.
That very first job it could be, or having a job that you can see your way up. You can see being a contributing member of that organization and being seen, being heard, and all of that. And to see it for someone, especially that grew up in foster care system and they didn't had that say on what their life is about is it's a blessing to be part of that. It's a grace, yes.
Similar to LifeWorks' other programs, its workforce program offers highly individualized plans and services. They use a model called IPS, which stands for Individual Placement and Support. Using the IPS model, LifeWorks will dedicate roughly half their time working with an employer and the other half of their time working with a client to find a good job opportunity match.
So we establish that rich connection with the employer as we do with the client. That way we can really make a meaningful change in the way clients go from job to job. Instead of I just get a job because I need a job. It would be like meaningful where your interests are considered, your passion is considered, your life situation right now is considered. A lot of what the circumstances you're in is considered to get this job. So it becomes more of a joy to go to a job instead of an end to means to an end.
LifeWorks works closely with their clients throughout the job search and interview process.
That way we showcase our clients. And in the other end, we're working with the client, with the youth, to build their resumes, to help them with their what it looks like to be in a job, especially if it's their first job. What are the work etiquette? What are the characters you have to exhibit during work? And work clothes that you might need, interview clothes that you need. And that process is not just about getting clothes, getting resume written, but showing them the way, show them the route. Because you could be in our program now, you could exit out, or you can close out because you age out now. So, but we will give you the skills to do that in the future on your own. So we show them how to build resume. Now we're going to help you, but also support you in developing it down the road for yourself. The same thing with interview clothes. Now you're interviewing for retail. Let's look how you're going to look like we make it playful, we make it in a way that is supportive, that's inclusive, that I'm treating you not as a client, but as for some people as a friend.
A good job opportunity can look different for different clients. For some, it may mean working a nighttime shift, so they're somewhere safe at night. For others, it may be working at a store near a bus stop because they use public transportation. For some, it may mean a job with more flexible schedule because they lack affordable or reliable childcare. Despite the different barriers that her clients may face in getting a job, Mehdi wants employers to know that her clients are ready and capable of working.
With employers, I would say lack of experience. Oh, we all have been there.
Yeah.
Just because I'm taking someone doesn't mean anything about the client. More so, like they're there to do the job. Give them a chance. Just because I'm speaking for them doesn't mean it's because they cannot speak for them. It's just they didn't have that support like me when they were younger. I'm just here to step in to make that transformation for them.
LifeWorks has partnered with organizations across Central Texas, from small businesses to large corporations, to help them find talent that will help the companies reach their goals and strengthen their community. And LifeWorks is always seeking more partners.
My name is Ashley Kennebrew. I am the Program Director for Workforce Development here at LifeWorks. We welcome any employer that would like to work with us, including our client population, so they could reach us at our email, which is workforce@lifeworksaustin.org. We can partner through being able to fulfill the needs of the employer. If they're having issues with turnover with their agency, we can also assist them with staffing by, of course, introducing them to the clients that we have that meet the qualifications of those particular jobs. We can also help to train. If they're interested in helping our clients train for particular industries, we can also partner in that spectrum. So if it's a training need, they would like to mentor any clients in the community servicing our population, we can also connect in that way as well.
Going back to my conversation with Andrew, I asked him, if there's one thing you wish people knew about LifeWorks clients, what would it be?
I think what I wish people knew about the clients that we serve is that there are so many systems that make succeeding in life so challenging for our clients. I look at the life that was handed to me that I grew up in and the amount of privilege, and I'm so blessed to have that. And to see the reality that so many people face, the struggles that come with racism, sexism, there's so many things, and that this is not an issue of somebody not caring or an issue of somebody not being smart or not being willing, but there's so many obstacles that are thrown at certain populations and subsets. And so to help people walk through this journey, the strength that they have, the willingness that they have, and the potential that people have when given that opportunity, when given access to the resources, is so high.
If you or your organization is interested in getting involved with LifeWorks and its mission to advocate for youth who are pursuing a life they love, there are many ways you can do so. LifeWorks offers a variety of volunteer opportunities, and as you heard from Ashley, LifeWorks is seeking employer partners for its workforce program as well. In addition, LifeWorks accepts and appreciates monetary and in-kind donations that allow the organization to serve its clients quickly. Sometimes the needs of LifeWorks clients may fall outside of the scope of a grant or specific funding, and your donations can allow LifeWorks to act quickly when a client experiences a crisis. To learn more about all of these opportunities and to get involved, please visit lifeworksaustin.org. That's LifeWorks austin.org. Thanks for listening to this episode. This podcast was created and hosted by me, Sam Heimbach. It was produced by Zachary Webb. Podcast art and website design are by Hannah Fenvez of HMF Design. Music is from Soundstripe. This podcast was funded in part by the Baton Savoie Scholarship offered through the Human Dimensions of Organization's Master's Program at the University of Texas at Austin. You can learn more about this episode and others at fostercareerexperience.com. Thank you.